So, starting off, what first got you interested in Dungeons and Dragons?
Okay. So I first got into D&D during COVID, so we all remember that, just struggle and Zoom call, but D&D was so fun I just didn't care, and it was great. So we would my family friend taught me D&D, and he would come around and help us make characters when he could, and then we would do all of our actual playing online.
My mother worked at a board game store, and there was this D&D area, and for one of my birthdays I wanted to try out D&D, so with my friends we all went and had a little one shot, I guess, and that's how I got into it.
A few years ago, I don't remember the year, I think I first found out about it on YouTube or something, and then last year I played a campaign with some people.
Perfect, thank you. I'll jump into the next question. I'm going to go to one that might be a bit more detailed so we can get through those ones first. So, can you share a little bit about one of your characters that you play as?
So, I have a lot of characters, but really I'm just a barbarian through and through. Barbarian's just great because I am yet to see someone who could outsmart Axe. But then one time I reversed that and I'm just like, what if I made a barbarian that was a healer? So I just multi-classed it because multi-classing is the choice of life, and then I just made it so I could take damage for other people and then just heal all of that damage. And it was great.
My leg is shaking. I've only really played one character because I'm working on a DM script, but her name was Lawlessa Lasteth or something. She was a dragonborn rogue, and just I don't know what to say. She was just really cool. I drew so much of her after the party. I was just so excited.
I have one character. It was a pre-filled out character, and I just needed to choose a name. And then I named him Barbados based on a character from a game that I like playing because the character's a half-elf bard, and the other character named Barbados from the game other game I'm playing is a bard that's also a god. So I was reminded of that character, so I named him Barbados, and yeah.
Perfect, thank you. And this might be the last question, but do you have a fun story from a campaign you would like to share with us?
Oh, yes. I have a great story. I didn't get to this last year, so this is great. So I was playing a bard rogue, really fun, pretty evil, really fun. And a witch told us that if we defeated a void snapper, she would give us a bunch of gems. And then one of the NPCs in our party goes, "What's happening?" And we all know how NPCs are. So I was like, I got a fun idea. This is not going to go well for the NPC, by the way. And so I was like, we're putting our hand up for who wants the best gems. Why don't you put your hand up? We're actually putting our hand up for who's going to volunteer to jump inside the void snapper and take it for the whole party. And so he's like, why don't you put your hand up? I'm like, I can just steal them. So he's like, me. 2 minutes later, why does this always happen to me? Why me? And then I nearly tricked an NPC into getting eaten by a void snapper. That would be funny. Yep.
I don't remember what I did in the only campaign I've ever done.
It was sort of after the first adventure that We did, but because I wanted to change my character from neutral good to chaotic neutral, I had to come up with a backstory, and we were doing going into Curse of Strahd. So, and then I made my character's backstory a bit too traumatic for the character. The character had two families. The first one died in front of them by vampires. The second one also died in front of him by vampires, and then, yeah. When we were doing Curse of Strahd and we met Strahd for the first time, we found, well, I think it was before we met Strahd, but we found one of the NPCs with the letter. The NPC was, I think, killed by a vampire, if I'm remembering correctly. And then I made my character go into like a bit of shock, I think, because my character realized that the NPC was killed by vampires, and then one of the other characters, played by another person, was getting kind of suspicious of my character.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Can we give them a round of applause, and thank you so much for talking about D&D with us.